Good morning, students. In this video, we are going to learn the remaining topics of Chapter 4 Electric Current and Magnetism. So, let us start with what is dry cell. The dry cell is a modification of the wet Lackland cell. Dry cell batteries are different from wet cell because their electrolytes are contained in a low moisture paste. A dry cell consists of a zinc container whose base acts as the negative electrode or anode. The carbon rod placed at the center with a brass cup acts as a positive electrode or cathode. This is surrounded by a mixture of manganese dioxide and charcoal in a muslin bag. The electrolyte used is a moist paste of ammonium chloride. The outer body, excluding the base of the zinc container, is insulated with cardboard to prevent the graphite rod from coming in contact with zinc container. Now, working of a dry cell. When the dry cell is connected in a circuit comprising a bulb, current flows in the circuit due to the chemical reactions that takes place in the cell. This makes the bulb glow. The electrode in the dry cell battery has two terminals, one that is positive and one that is negative. When a bulb is connected to the battery's terminal, a chemical reaction occurs between the electrode and the paste that produces roughly 1.5 volts of electricity. The electricity produced is conducted out the battery with the help of an external circuit. This circuit physically connects the battery to an electronic device to function. Now we will see what is an electric circuit. Introduction. When you are feeling very hot and need some air for feeling cool, the first thing you do is to switch the fan on, or you want to have a cup of hot coffee in the cold winter. You press the switch to put the fan on. Why do you need to press the electric switch to revolve the fan or heating blades? Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the flow of electrons in a circuit, construct an actual electric circuit, draw diagrams of electric circuits, explain the path of an electric circuit. Now, an electric cell or dry cell is the source of electricity for the bulb to glow. Let us know how the bulb in a torch glows. Step 1. Take out the bulb from a torch. You can see the bulb is a small globe of thin glass inside which a coil filament is fixed on two thick wires. One of this thick wire is connected to the metal case around the base of the bulb. The other wire is connected to the metal tip at the base of the bulb. The metal case and the metal tip at the base are connected to two terminals of the bulb. Take two pieces of half long insulated wires. Remove the plastic covering at ends of two pieces of the wire with the help of knife. Now fix the bulb on the bulb holder. Then two screws on the bulb holder become two terminals. The insulated wires are connected to the two terminals on the holder as shown in the figure. Finally, connect free ends of the wire of the bulb holder to the cell, the positive terminal of the cell and free end of the other wire to the negative terminal of the cell. This may be done with the help of the rubber band or an adhesive tape. After the connection, you can see the bulb lights up. Now, closed and open circuit. If you see both the wires are connected to both the terminals, it is an unbroken path. It is a closed circuit. Disconnect one of the both wires. You will find that the path is broken now. Also, the bulb does not light up since electricity can't flow through the broken path. This is known as an open circuit. Electric switch. We put on the switch on or off when we want to use the electric appliances such as tube light, fan, AC, or switch off the bulb is pressed down to complete a circuit. The bulb glows. To put the bulb off, we press the switch again. This breaks the circuit and bulb glows no more. A circuit is made in such a way that under normal conditions the circuit remains open. The current does not flow through the circuit. When we press the other end of the switch, it gets connected to the closed circuit. Summary. An electric bulb glows when the electric current passes through it. A closed circuit allows the electric current to flow through it. An open circuit is a broken circuit and the electric current does not flow through it. A switch is a device to close or open a circuit. Now, let us understand magnetic effect of electric current. You might have seen the doorbell of your house. When a guest comes and rings your doorbell, you hear a sound and you can make out that someone has come. Did you know that the doorbell makes use of magnetic effect of an electric current? In this video, we are going to learn about magnetic effects of electric current. Now, magnetic effects of electric current. In 1820, Danish physicist Hans Christian Ørsted observed that current through a wire caused a deflection in nearby magnetic needle. Ørsted placed a compass near a wire and attached to a battery. As the electric current flows through the wire, the compass needle deflected. Ørsted had shown that the electric current generates a magnetic field and this is called electromagnetism. Now, let us understand the magnetic property exhibited by electric current using a simple circuit. Here is an iron nail on which we have wound a piece of copper wire. We can see that this nail does not attract these paper clips. Now let's attach the ends of a copper wire to a battery. When this setup is brought near the paper clips, you will find that the paper clips are attracted by it. Isn't this amazing? Now let's understand why this happens. Let's consider this iron nail. Let's look into its pattern and what is happening there. We can see that inside the iron nail there are many electrons which are tiny magnets. Each of these is pointed in a different directions. Hence, there is no magnetic domain and iron nail does not show any magnetic property. Now let's see what happens to each of the electrons when current passes through it. When current passes, these electrons gets aligned in the same direction and nail becomes magnetic. Connect the following apparatus: copper wire, key, battery, and a thick sheet of cardboard wire and a hole at its center. Arrange copper wire, key, battery, and a thick sheet of cardboard with a hole at its center. The copper filings arrange themselves in concentric circles around the conductor. This is because the electric current produces a magnetic field around the conductor, and the iron filings, being magnetic in nature, align themselves in concentric circles. Repeat the experiment by reversing the direction of flow of current. The iron filings arrange themselves in concentric circles around the conductor, but in opposite direction. This is because the direction of magnetic field changes when the direction of flow of current is reversed. In this experiment, we have seen the pattern of magnetic fields. Students, there are some questions which you may have thought about it. Do you know how an MRI scan works? Do you know what maglev trains are? How does maglev train works? How customers are identified in ATM machines? MRI stands for magnetic resonance imaging. The customers are. This type of scan uses magnetism to build up a picture of inside body. An MRI machine has a large superconducting magnet through which electricity is passed. The magnetic field aligns the hydrogen atoms in the body to get an image of required organs. A maglev train is a high-speed train that runs using powerful electromagnets. Maglev is short form of magnetic levitation. A maglev train moves forward due to the magnetic field created by the electrified coil in the guide wave walls and the track. Almost in all the modern ATMs, the customers are identified by inserting a plastic ATM card. This stripe on the back of the ATM card is a magnetic stripe and is called magnetic stripe. The magnetic stripe is made up of tiny magnetic particles in a plastic-like film. By moving the stripe back and forward over the red head, voltage are induced in the coil, and this can be amplified and recorded electronically so that the information can be sent to the computer. So in this lesson we have learned the concept of magnetic field of electric current. Now I have some questions for you to think about. What happens when a conductor moves in a magnetic field? If electric current has some magnetic effect, why does it not attract a piece of iron? Find the answer yourself. Now students, we are going to understand the construction and working of an electric bell. So let us see this video. An electric bell consists of an iron core on which is wound a wire as a coil. It means there is an iron core and a piece of coil is wound. One end of the coil is connected to one terminal of a battery. So one end is connected to the one terminal of a battery and the other end to a steel rod that acts like a spring for a hammer touching the screw contact. So to the other end there is a spring. The other terminal of the battery is connected to the screw contact with a switch in the middle. So in the middle there is a switch which is connected to the second wire. Electric current flows through the coil when the switch is on, and the iron core acts as an electromagnet. So the iron core, it behaves like an electromagnet when the switch is on. The iron core attracts the hammer towards it. The hammer hits and the sound is produced. When the circuit breaks at the screw contact, when the hammer moves towards the iron core. So this hammer moves towards the iron core when the circuit breaks. The hammer is pulled back to its original position due to the spring action of the steel. As there was a spring on the steel rod, again the hammer is pulled back to the original position, and again the contact is maintained to complete the circuit. Again there is a flow of current in the circuit. So this process is repeated again and again, and the sound is produced in an electric bell. The process repeats itself and we hear a ringing sound since the hammer keeps hitting the bell until the switch is released. So when